This is Neil Schneider for MTBS-TV at SIGGRAPH 2019. To my immediate right is Matt Mazeral, Senior Product Manager for Cloud at Foundry. Welcome to the program, Matt.
Hi, thank you. It's a pleasure.
So for those unfamiliar, tell us all the amazing things that Foundry does.
Well, Foundry...
Not all of them. We wouldn't have enough time in the day, but give it your best shot.
Sure. So Foundry products are used in almost every single major Hollywood film that you see out there. Our compositing software, Nuke, is kind of the industry standard for bringing visual effects and bringing incredible things to life on the big screen. But our software is also used across the whole spectrum of content creation, all the way from commercials to design to streaming on demand, episodic. So we really we focus on providing the best tools for artists in order to make their creative visions come to life.
So impress me. Tell me some titles I'd know that Foundry's attached to.
Oh, pretty much all the Marvel movies have used our products in some form or another. Pretty much anything you look on the screen, if it has any kind of compositing or set extension, there's a very good chance it was using our Nuke software. And we have a wider family of products that are used often in combination with Nuke in the studio environment. We have other great software like Mari, which is a painting software. So if you've ever seen like a big dinosaur on the screen, well, that was probably painted on with a piece of software like Mari. So lots of really cool tools like that help artists to create a really amazing digital image on the big screen.
Great, good stuff. Now you're product manager for Cloud. What does that mean?
So I'm purple and different. Athira is Foundry's cloud platform. It's a project we started about 5 years ago. We've released it commercially about a year ago. The idea of Athira is to allow anyone anywhere to build a studio with just a laptop. So it's a bit different because it's not a tool that is directly for artists, but it's a tool that allows artists anywhere to start creating without having to be IT people first.
So why don't we elaborate a little bit more? So under normal circumstances, if cloud wasn't a variable here, how would artists be working, or how would production staff be working with your tools?
Yeah, so typically our tools require fairly powerful machines to run on with a lot of GPU and memory and CPU capability. They also require large amounts of storage. So these frames of footage are, 4K is kind of the norm, the baseline now, and people are doing shows in 8K, even for things like Netflix. So the amount of storage you need is expensive and large. And the more artists you have on your project, of course, the more you have this capex of all this equipment. So more and more studios are looking to the cloud as a way of scaling their capex expenditure to be much more flexible and elastic, because the reality is their shows, they get really, really busy in short periods of time, and then things kind of die down between projects. Rendering is another aspect. Rendering is the process of doing all the computation to bring the images together to create the final form. And often you require tens of thousands, if not more, cores of CPU to process those images. The cloud has really great capabilities for scaling up to that amount of compute power without necessarily needing to own it permanently and upfront.
So if I'm an independent content creator, and I guess I would venture this isn't just limited to independent content creators, I should say. Does this mean I could get into this without having to have a big cash outlay for hardware? Or is that one of the big advantages here?
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's definitely a big cost benefit where you can, basically be Marvel for as many minutes as you want and come back down to just your laptop. So that's one of the superpowers of the cloud is you can make your infrastructure really, really large for small amounts of time and only pay for what you use. Another big appealing aspect of Athira is the ability to work from anywhere. One of the things that we hear a lot in the industry is that it's hard to find a work-life balance with all of the pressure going on in these projects. There's lots of work out there. The industry is very healthy, but more and more large integrated studios in the VFX centers of London, Vancouver, Montreal are bursting at the seams. So we're seeing more and more collaboration with satellite studios, freelancers being brought in, and even freelancers picking up entire projects, sort of like pop-up shops. So the flexibility of the cloud of choosing who you work with and where has been very compelling as well because of that industry trend.
Good stuff. Now, Athira, does that represent the name of a product or a service? Like, how would you define it?
Yeah, so Athira is our name for the platform. It's an abstract, fanciful name. We quite like those types of names at Foundry. Some of our products have slightly cool sounding names, so Athira is no different.
Is this something that's readily available today, or is it something upcoming?
Yeah, so Athira was available openly for trials for most of last year. Recently, in the last 6 months, we've dove really deep with a smaller number of customers. So Athira is not available for trial right now, but we are curating a small number of customers that we're working with. We're anticipating to make Athira publicly available sometime next year. But if you have an interest in Athira, we do have the ability on our website. If you go to athira.io, you can tell us a bit about your project, and we'll get in touch with you. And it's definitely something that's available if you have a cool project on your hands and you think it could be helped by Athira.
Good stuff. Thanks so much for joining us. This sounds really exciting.
Cool. Thank you very much. My pleasure's mine.
This is Neil Schneider for MTBS-TV at SIGGRAPH 2019. We will, of course, be back with more. Thank you for watching.